How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another LEGO Lover 117 video. Welcome back to another collection month. October, man, it comes faster every year. Here we are, collection month 2024. Are you guys excited for it? I most certainly am. This first installment of collection month is an absolute classic. It's the complete Blu-ray collection. Everyone knows it. Everyone is happy about it. Some people were not happy last year when I changed up the style. You're not going to be happy this year either because we're keeping the same style as I kept last year, just looking at the movie spines and where they're stored in my room. I personally think that it's a little bit more fun that way. You get to see a little bit of the shelving and such where I keep my movies. You get to see some other parts of my house. We're currently in the guest room right now, where I also keep a good chunk of the films that I own. So I personally think the style is way better than the first style. It's not me just literally picking up a whole bunch of movies and just showing them to you one by one. It's me actually taking you on a bit of a tour around the upstairs of my house. And also, it's way easier on me, because with a full-time job now, it's nearly impossible for me to shoot these all in one go. So without further ado, let's jump right in to this collection video. Well, like last year, I would start with the movie stack, but the movie stack has been removed. I'm going through a bit of a renovation process in my movie library right now. I've recently gotten some more shelf space, so I'm moving some stuff around. So the movie stack is MIA at the moment. The only thing that's there are my HD DVDs, which of course aren't part of my Blu-ray or 4K collection because they aren't either of those things. But I still have those. So we'll move down to this shelf, which has seen a little bit of change in the last couple of weeks as I've been moving stuff around. We'll start here at the end with Iron Man 4K Steelbook, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and The Avengers, both 4K Steelbooks, Iron Man 3, Thor, The Dark World, Captain America, The Winter Soldier 4K Steelbook, Guardians of the Galaxy 4K Steelbook from Mondo, picked that up at Bucked Out earlier in 2024. Two more Steelbooks, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, and then Captain America Civil War. I guess three more Steelbooks, I can't count. Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's not the Blu-ray, that's the 4K, I just put the Blu-ray slipcover on it. Spider-Man Homecoming, three more Steelbooks, Thor, Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Avengers Infinity War. Take a little break from Steelbooks, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then three more Steelbooks. We got Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home. Another break from Steelbooks and just exclusives in general. We got Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's not the Walmart exclusive slipcover. I wish it was, though, because that slipcover is garbage. We're back to exclusives here. We got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man 3, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's all of the MCU that's been released so far. Well, I'm missing the Marvels. Never mind, that's not all the MCU that's been released so far. I still don't have the Marvels. I do plan on picking that up eventually, just for very, very cheap. We've got the X-Men trilogy on 4K, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, and the Rogue Cut. You have both of the Deadpool films, X-Men Apocalypse, and then moving up here, getting away some of that glare there, we've got Howard the Duck, Blade, Logan, Fantastic Four, that's both of those movies, Ghost Rider, and then the sequel to that, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and Once Upon a Deadpool. This stack, the Spider-Man trilogy, the Sam Raimi trilogy, and then Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. 2 is in 3D. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and then the two Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse films are Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. Then over here, the Punisher movies on 4K and Kick-Ass. So this is basically my Marvel shelf at the moment. I do have room here to expand, of course, whenever I get, the Marvels. And when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, that's in a couple of weeks from the time I'm filming this video. Now we move on to the second shelf. This is comedy films. So starting off at the end, we have a digipack of Ghostbusters 1 and 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't have Frozen Empire. I really don't know if I'll pick that up. It wasn't one of my favorites of this year. Why Him, Jumanji 1, 2, and 3, Airplane, fantastic comedy. Super Troopers, Impractical Jokers, the movie. Both of the Hitman's Bodyguard films. All three of the Men in Black films. The Campaign, Neighbors 1 and 2, Anchorman, The Happy Time Murders, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Boys, Tag, Dumb and Dumber and The Mask, Ticket to Paradise, Horrible Bosses, The Breakfast Club, Two Guns, The Big Lebowski, Bridesmaids, Talladega Nights, all four Lethal Weapon movies, The Upside, Central Intelligence, Wedding Crashers, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Parental Guidance, Night School, Game Night, The Blood and Ice Cream Trilogy, Clerks, Mallrats, and the Mel Brooks Collection. We have Dumb Money, Renfield, The Fanatic, Daddy's Home 1 and 2, Action Point, Over the Top, 21 and 22 Jump Street, Cocaine Bear, Trading Places, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Bill and Ted Trilogy, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, We're the Millers, The Hangover, The 5-Year Engagement, Harold and Kumar 1 and 2, Paul Blart Mall Cop, The War with Grandpa, Pop Star, Ted 1 and 2, and the Rush Hour Trilogy. And then the bottom shelf is just kind of a catch-all shelf. It's got some director-specific sections and then some like genre-specific stuff and just a mixed bag of stuff. So we'll start off here on the end. If I could zoom in, that'd be nice. We have Unforgiven, the Jackie Chan Collection, Volume 1 from Shout Factory, First Strike, My Fair Lady, Braveheart, The Last Samurai, Megan Levy, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Last Night in Soho, Dog, Plane, the Has Fallen trilogy, and then all of Quentin Tarantino's directorial films. I guess I should have started from this side. I don't know why I have these set up this way, but tell you what, this seems a little cramped. Why don't we zoom out a little bit more there? There we go. That's better. So we start with Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, a 4K of that and a Canadian Blu-ray, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2. I have the full Grindhouse experience with Death Proof and Planet Terror, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then we move over to Christopher Nolan. We have The Prestige, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Tenet. I need to get Memento. That one's one of my favorite ones from Christopher Nolan. I can't believe I don't own that one yet. You know what? I'll just start from this side. Let's just go down this way. We have the Rocky Blu-ray box set, one of those sets there. That goes up to Rocky 6, I believe. Yeah, Rocky Balboa is 6. Another copy of Rocky with a cool slipcover. Creed 1, 2, and 3. The Fighter, Raging Bull. That brings us into the Martin Scorsese section. We have this 3-pack with The Departed, The Aviator, and Goodfellas. Gangs of New York, Hugo, and The Wolf of Wall Street. And then moving up here, we have The Iron Claw, Cloverfield, Knock at the Cabin, Patriots Day, the remake of The Manchurian Candidate, Deepwater Horizon, Ocean's 11, Collateral. Need to upgrade both of those to 4K at some point. Snowden, A Star is Born, Bohemian Rhapsody, a Canadian Blu-ray of The Untouchables, I believe. The remake of The Magnificent Seven, 21 Bridges, Gone Girl, Chinatown, The French Connection, Sound of Freedom, Fury, American Graffiti, Dances with Wolves. I found this movie at a Goodwill for like $1. It's called Gifted. I don't know anything about it, but it was $1. Cool Hand Luke, and The Way Back. So as I said, just a complete like weird kind of catch-all shelf here. There really is no purpose to why all these movies are here on this shelf, but they live together, and they live together in harmony. Now this shelf really hasn't changed much. This is all Star Wars stuff. This diorama up here hasn't changed really either. I need to dust it though. It's a little gross. But this shelf hadn't changed much, except there's Lil Sweet back there. I don't know what he has to do with Star Wars, but he's here. So starting off here, we have the prequel trilogy box set from Fox from 2013, the Clone Wars movie, the entire Clone Wars series, including Season 7, unofficially, but we have Season 7, and then the 5th season from the UK, and then Bad Batch Seasons 1 and 2, also unofficial, but from the same guy who made the Clone Wars box set. We have 2 copies of Solo. Not all my copies of Solo, but here's 2 of them here. We have the Target exclusive variant and then one from the UK. All of Star Wars Rebels, the first season of Andor, just the Blu-ray, not the 4K. Not my only copy of Rogue One, but the 3D Target exclusive variant. The Despecialized trilogy that I got from OMB Reviews as being part of his Patreon. 4K sets of the original Star Wars trilogy. The 20th Century Fox Blu-ray set from 2013. The reprint of the complete saga from 2015. The Mandalorian Blu-ray, that's the Disney Movie Club exclusive one that comes with the Blu-ray and DVD copies of the season. I feel like I own every Force Awakens exclusive there is known to man. When we take a look at my steelbooks later on, you'll see what I mean by that. But we've got the we have the Walmart exclusive slipcover variant with BB-8 on the front cover, the holiday branded version, which also serves as a standard version of the movie. Because if you take off the slipcover, it's literally just a regular Blu-ray copy of the movie. Only thing that was changed was this holiday slipcover there. And then my original Blu-ray of The Force Awakens, the Target exclusive variant. And we've got the 4K Steelbook for The Last Jedi, the Target exclusive of The Last Jedi, and then the Target and Walmart variants of The Rise of Skywalker. And up here, we have the first season of the show called Icons Unearthed. This one's about Star Wars. Robot Chicken, Star Wars Episode 3. Lego Star Wars The Padawan Menace, that still has the minifigure of young Han Solo there. You can see that. And then there's the original Complete Saga set. This was my white whale for such a long time when I first started collecting Blu-rays. I wanted this set so bad. I asked for this set for Christmas, I believe, in 2013 or so, but I got these sets instead, which is fine. I did end up buying this on the secondary market a few years later, though. And then we've got the 3D version of The Force Awakens. I like Star Wars, can you tell? So below the Star Wars shelf, we have the overflow of comic book movies and also science fiction stuff. These shelves don't really make a lot of sense. It's just stuff that I think goes well together. Over here, we have Kingsman, the Secret Service, the premiere version. I don't think that was exclusive to anywhere. Kingsman: The Golden Circle, The Kingsman from Target, The Creator, the first Independence Day. I used to have the sequel, but it was so awful I couldn't keep it anymore. Arrival on 4K, Hellboy 2, Sin City 1 and 2, Wanted, Ninja Turtles, the original trilogy, TMNT, the 2 live-action Michael Bay movies, and then Mutant Mayhem, Dread, V for Vendetta, The Losers, Watchmen, Superman on 4K, Batman from 1966, The Batman Anthology, Joker, The Batman, Green Lantern, Man of Steel, 2 copies of Batman v Superman. One's just the normal Blu-ray and then one's a 4K. Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, the theatrical cut of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, The Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 2, The Suicide Squad, The Flash, and then the Target exclusive variant of Justice League. I found this Justice League copy at a Goodwill a few months ago, and it was too good to pass up. It was like $1.50 because Goodwill's raised their prices on physical media now. Everything used to be 99 cents. Now it's like $1.49, $1.50. A 4K at Goodwill for $1.50? How can I say no to that? Pretty much all the Planet of the Apes movies. We've got the remake from Tim Burton, the new trilogy, and then the first 5 Planet of the Apes movies. I don't have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I didn't see that in theaters. It's on my Plex server now, though, so I will give that a shot at some point, and if I like it, I may buy it. Stanley Kubrick's 2001, terrifying movie if you're scared of space, and then Avatar. Don't have Avatar 2. I liked it fine in theaters. I think I'm fine with just having it on Plex. I don't know. Maybe I give it a rewatch and I'll buy it. District 9, Dune, Transformers 1 through 3, 4 and 5 are just awful. I can't bear myself to pay money for those. Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts. Still haven't seen this one. I've heard people say that it's good, though. The new Star Trek trilogy, and then the old trilogy that starts with 2 and then goes to 4. We've got War Games, Minority Report, RoboCop, fantastic science fiction movie. RoboCop 2, that's from Shout Factory, and then the remake of RoboCop. RoboCop 3 doesn't have a Blu-ray by itself. If it does, I may end up buying it. I don't know. I've never seen it, though, so RoboCop 2 actually wasn't too bad. I watched it a month or two ago. It wasn't too bad. I kind of enjoyed it. Underneath the overflow of comic book films, we have action, primarily. Some of it's action, some of it's like suspense and thrillers and some things like that. We've got the Indiana Jones set, and then the sequel, The Dial of Destiny, from the UK on 4K there. Top Gun Maverick. Again, this is really zoomed in. Hang on, let's back up a little bit. That's better. Mission Impossible 1 through 3, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Dead Reckoning. Still with the part 1 on there. Fallout and Dead Reckoning are 4K. Other ones are Blu-ray. The Expendables, the extended director's cut. I don't know how that movie got a so-called extended director's cut, but there it is in the flesh. Expendables 2, Expendables 3 don't have Expendables. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, so no, I will not be buying that. The Dirty Harry movies, except for the Deadpool. We've got Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, and Sudden Impact. Speed, there's a bum on the bus. Jason Bourne, The Rock, Nobody, The Last Stand, Total Recall. All 6 of the Terminator movies. I did end up buying Dark Fate at some point in time. I think it was on sale at like Walmart or something. All 5 Rambo movies. The Die Hard on 4K. All 4 John Wicks. John Wick Chapter 3 is the Walmart exclusive variant, I think. Came with a coin. It's a pretty cool box set. Saving Private Ryan. Hacksaw Ridge, 1917. The Patriot and Escape from New York. Up here at the top, Kickboxer, Pacific Rim, Crank 1 and 2, the remake of the Italian Job, Baby Driver, Edge of Tomorrow, the Rhythm Section, The Rundown, Air Force One, Unstoppable, and The Gentleman. Red Dawn, the original, not the remake, Tremors, The Fugitive, a second copy of John Wick Chapter 2, which I picked up from Target. This was a Target exclusive. I bought it because it's got a pit bull on the front cover. John Wick has a pit bull, and pit bulls normally don't get a lot of love. Just in the world in general, I suppose. I have a pit bull. Her name is Leia. She's wonderful. So I had to get this to support her. 2-pack of Last Man Standing and The Last Boy Scout, Point Break, Predators, all the Fast and Furious movies, including the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw there. I Am Legend, The Covenant, The A-Team, Mortal Kombat, Civil War, Prey, and Fall. And our last shelf is just a bunch of what the hell ever. This is the shelf that I recently converted to a movie shelf. I took my Wii games and put them outside in a shelf in the hallway. So now I've got this shelf for movies, and this shelf doesn't have a theme to it. It's just stuff. Although this first part kind of has a theme. These are all my shark movies. We got Jaws 1 and 2, The Shallows, Deep Blue Sea, 47 Meters Down, The Reef, Shark Night, Sharknado, 4-film shark collection, which includes 4 kind of schlocky shark movies, and Sharktopus. That's a real thing. Here's M. Night Shyamalan, Unbreakable, Split, Glass, and Old. I'm probably going to pick up the 4Ks of Signs and The Sixth Sense at some point in time. Those are coming out soon. Shutter Island, that should be over with Martin Scorsese. Not sure why that's over here. The Boondock Saints, a guy that I worked with at my previous job swore up and down that that movie is fantastic. Haven't seen it yet, but Chad, if you're watching, I do own the movie. Sorry to Bother You, Sicario 2, Steve Jobs, The Judge, very underrated Robert Downey Jr. performance. Spielberg's first movie, Duel, Cleopatra. I bought that thinking that it was the 1950s version. It's the 1930s version, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. So I still need to pick up the 50s version. The Hustler, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, the original Magnificent Seven, Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More, The Sound of Music, The Bible in the Beginning, Hang 'em High, National Treasure 1 and 2, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, The Bank Job, a whole bunch of Liam Neeson stuff, Unknown, Nonstop, Run All Night, The Commuter, Cold Pursuit, Honest Thief and the Marksman, Atomic Blonde, Layer Cake, Train to Busan, The Case for Christ, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is all of the James Bond stuff that I have. It's pretty much Bond's entire filmography. We've got all of Sean Connery's movies, except for Never Say Never Again. That one has not got an official Blu-ray release over here in the United States. It's not technically part of the James Bond canon, but it is a James Bond movie, and it exists. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, all of Roger Moore's movies, both of Timothy Dalton's movies, Pierce Brosnan's movies, and then all of Daniel Craig's movies as well. John Carter, picked that up from Goodwill. The Maltese Falcon and Casablanca, two fantastic films and look great on 4K from Warner Brothers. Madagascar 2 and 3, I have one, I'm not sure where it is. 1 Hour Photo, Titanic, and the Hunger Games quadrilogy. Here's Mean Girls on 4K. Those two discs form a extended but not really cut of the Hobbit movies. It takes all three of those movies and smushes them together into one cohesive story. But it's on 2 discs for some reason. I got that from Odin's Movie Blog, or OMB Reviews. The Green Mile, Oceans, Our Blue Planet, Thank You for Your Service, Jackie, American Sniper, and The Nice Guys. Okay, I know I said I got rid of the movie stack, but technically this isn't a movie stack, but this is what I call unprocessed inventory, meaning this is stuff that I have picked up over the last few months that I haven't found a place for yet. For example, Gone with the Wind, picked this up from the Big Lots for $9.99 like a month or two ago, and I haven't found a place to put it yet. Harry Potter 8-movie collection. Little Shop of Horrors. My Stepmother is an Alien. Picked this up during the Arrow Video 50% off sale. This should go on the Arrow and Boutique shelf outside, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. The Bike Riders, a movie that I didn't see in theaters, but Odin's Movie Blog. Stop calling him that. It's OMB Reviews now. I'm so used to calling him Odin's Movie Blog. I'm a member of his Patreon. I won this in a giveaway. Haven't even opened that yet. A good friend of the channel, Ricky, sent me Hotel Transylvania 3 on Blu-ray, just because. I don't have Hotel Transylvania 2, but maybe he really likes 3 and wants me to check it out at some time. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I'm trying to pick up all the classic animated Disney movies, and this is one of them. Another one, Home on the Range. I grew up with this movie. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know if it's good or not. Footloose. Picked this up at a Goodwill. Every now and then I find really good deals at Goodwill. I find Blu-rays there for really cheap, so I try to pick up as many as possible. The Walmart exclusive variant of The Last Jedi. Still need to get the price tag off of that. Same thing with Peter Pan. Here are some titles from the Disney Movie Club unboxing that I did that I got criticized for it not being quick enough by some rando on YouTube. Here's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas on 4K and The Lion King on 4K. The 100th anniversary version of Cars from Walmart that I plan on doing a supplemental on. These I just picked up like last week. This is a Kino Lorber, Adios Sabata. I don't know anything about this movie, but you never see Kino Lorber titles go for clearance prices at Half Price Books, so I just had to grab that. This technically shouldn't be in this stack, because this is a TV show, so we shouldn't be talking about this yet. I'll put that over there. The standard copy of Avengers Infinity War, pick this up at a Goodwill, along with Justice League and John Carter. Plan on doing a supplemental on that. Jurassic Park 3D, another supplemental title at some point, and then the Target exclusive version of Avengers Infinity War, again, another supplemental. And here's another small stack. These are movies that I have sitting next to my PS4 that I say I'm going to watch at some point, but it's getting increasingly harder for me to actually sit down for 2 or 3 hours and actually watch a full movie. If I'm watching movies, it's usually when I'm slacking at work, I'm watching them on my Plex server, or I'm watching like chunks of it, either here or I'm watching them over at Hope's house, and she doesn't have a 4K setup. So I'm usually watching movies through places like Vudu or through my Plex server. But I do have movies that I intend to watch on physical media. One day, Oppenheimer, I will watch you in full again. I've seen probably about 2 hours of this since I saw it in theaters. Still a fantastic movie, but I do own it on 4K. A really great thriller, Basic Instinct. I reviewed this on my Instagram page around the time of Valentine's Day. Very sadistic thriller, very fun. Well, fun in quotation marks. Violent Night, very fun to watch around Christmas. That is fun, actually. Operation Fortune, Use de Guerre. I like pronouncing that weird. The Good Liar. Lightyear. This has been in this stack for years at this point. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch this movie again. Let Him Go. Bonnie and Clyde. Lawless. This came in a lot of movies on eBay at one point, and I really don't know anything about it, but it has Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, and Gary Oldman in it, so yippee. And then Taxi Driver. Still haven't seen it. Moving on from my room to the hallway on this big shelf out here where I've got some other collectibles sitting on it. But now we move on to the steelbook section. You already saw some steelbooks in my room, but this is the majority of steelbooks that I own that aren't part of a franchise, except there are some exceptions here, but there are always exceptions, right? So back there, 310 to Yuma 4K steelbook, 300, American Psycho, Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Those are like pop art style steelbooks. The Back to the Future trilogy, Bad Boys 1 and 2, Big Hero 6, The Blues Brothers. The other Bourne movies up to the Bourne Legacy don't have a Jason Bourne steelbook. That's why that one is all by its lonesome. Captain America Civil War, Catch Me If You Can, Clueless, The Color of Money. That one's significant because it's from the UK. I think that's actually the first UK steelbook I ever purchased was The Color of Money. It's either that or another movie we'll talk about here in a minute. Coming to America, Coraline, beautiful 4K steelbook from Shout Factory. The Die Hard Collection, that includes all 5 of the Die Hard movies. Dune Part 2, still haven't seen it yet, but I need to check that one out. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. It doesn't have anything on its spine. I think it's because that was a international steelbook release and they wanted to put it out in multiple countries. I don't know. The Equalizer, Equalizer 2, Equalizer 3, Fall unrated, Galaxy Quest, The Gambler, The Godfather, Gran Torino, Heat, Hellboy, the original, not the remake, Hulk, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, The Hurt Locker, Jurassic Park, one of the first steelbooks I ever purchased back when I was first starting to collect movies, Les Mis, Lilo and Stitch, also from the UK. This was the one that I think was the first UK steelbook I ever bought. I can't remember if it was that or The Color of Money. Lone Survivor, The Martian, The Matrix, The Meg, Christmas Vacation, Rocket Man, my other copy of Rogue One, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2, Sicario, and if we look up here, stacked on top, my camera would focus, there we go, we got Space Jam, sealed copy of Star Wars The Force Awakens on Steelbook, and then Jurassic Park on 4K, and Blu-ray Steelbook combo pack there. That is Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and Jurassic World. In this stack up here, we've got The Sting, Sonic the Hedgehog, my other copy of Solo, South Park, the Taken trilogy, the Ten Commandments, To Kill a Mockingbird. That's not a steelbook, it's a metal pack. It's a mini-series from Spike called Tut, but I thought it was interesting enough to include here. Wonder, Zombieland 1 and 2, and Zoolander. We skip the middle shelf, and we're now down here at the bottom for the boutique stuff. This includes Criterion, Kino Lorber, Arrow Video, Mill Creek, because it's technically... Mill Creek's not really a boutique house or anything like that. I just thought it was fun to include here. And there might be... I think there's a Warner Archive in here somewhere. But most of my boutique stuff is either from Criterion or Kino Lorber. Of course, I say that, and then the two titles we start with are Arrow Video releases. True Romance and Witness. Then we move on to Kino Lorber here with Nobody's Fool, Death Wish, Tropic Thunder, Kid the God Cop, Joe Kidd, Love Slaves of the Amazons, The Great Train Robbery, Bedtime for Bonzo. That stars Ronald Reagan. 1 Million Years BC, David and Bathsheba, Play It to the Bone, Losing It, Abusing It, Brick, In Search of Dracula, the original Italian Job, Lost Highway, One Good Cop, The Hard Way, and The Warlord. And then here's the one Warner Archive here. Horror of Dracula, the first Dracula movie starring Christopher Lee. Mill Creek title Straight Talk, starring Dolly Parton. Two more Arrow titles here. We got Weird Science and Cruising. And then now we move into Criterion's Thief, Blood Simple, 1984, For All Mankind, The Last Temptation of Christ, Election, Foreign Correspondent, The Great Dictator, Double Indemnity. What is this one called? Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Barry Lyndon, Dressed to Kill, Mean Streets, 12 Angry Men, Sisters, The Blob, The Roaring Twenties, The Magnificent Ambersons, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, spelled my name right there, A Hard Day's Night, Seven Samurai, Citizen Kane, and the Conan Chronicles, which include both Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer from Arrow Video. And then only got two stacks up here at the top. True Believer, Spaceballs, Last Action Hero, and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Those are all from Mill Creek. And then these two latest Criterion editions are Risky Business on 4K and Blowout. So we have now transitioned from the hallway into the guest room here. And in the guest room, we've got this big dresser that we use as a television stand. There's a Toshiba television up there, along with several game consoles. But we'll take a look at those in a couple of weeks. I've taken some of these drawers out already to show you all the movies that are kept inside of them. This drawer right here is mostly animated stuff. I've had to stack movies on top because I'm running out of space for the animated films. You'll see over here, some of them have even overflowed into this drawer. There's a lot of DC animated stuff in here. But I'll start with these in here. We've got Despicable Me 3, The Simpsons movie, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, Monsters vs. Aliens, and then this Mickey and Minnie 10 Classic Shorts Blu-ray. I'll go ahead and move these out of the way so you can see all the wonderful spines of everything that I have in here. So we've got the Lego Movie, the Lego Batman movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, the Croods, Over the Hedge, How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, Kung Fu Panda trilogy. Haven't seen the fourth one. I haven't heard great things. The other two Despicable Me movies. The Peanuts movie, Toy Story 4, Turning Red, Luca. Those are both from Target. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. SpongeBob 1 and 2. The Iron Giant, Ron's Gone Wrong. The Penguins of Madagascar. The Bob's Burgers movie. Pixar Short Film Collection, Volumes 1 through 3. The Little Mermaid. Hotel Transylvania. Snoopy Come Home. The Aristocats. Shrek 1 and 2. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Soul. The Shrek 3D trilogy. Or is this the all four movies? I can't remember. I think it's all four of them. Yeah. This was a promotional item given out if you bought like a Samsung television. So they actually weren't made for sale. Take a look at that on a supplemental at some point. Winnie the Pooh, Springtime with Roo. Lady and the Tramp, Celebrating Mickey. This is pretty much all just Disney and Pixar from this point out. Bambi, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, just Winnie the Pooh. Atlantis 2-movie collection, Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Lion King, Aladdin, 101 Dalmatians, Beauty and the Beast, Coco, Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Raya and the Last Dragon, Frozen 1 and 2, Finding Nemo 1 and 2, Monsters Inc. 1 and 2, Cars 1 through 3, Cars 2 being on 3D Blu-ray, Cars 3 on Steelbook, and then Cars 3 on 4K, and then there's a 4K version of Cars in there. Cars 2, Major Stall Tales, Incredibles 1 and 2, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Inside Out, Brave, Onward, and Scoob. And then the other Disney stuff is over here. In this drawer, we've got Brother Bear 1 and 2, Pinocchio, Jungle Book 2, and Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin. Right next to a very happy family movie is The Menu, a movie that I have heard is not very happy or family friendly. Get On Up, Paul, the live-action remake of Alice in Wonderland, Shark Week collection, all 5 of the Purge movies, Buried, American Made, Argo, The Great Gatsby, A Few Good Men, Stand By Me, The Shawshank Redemption, The Town, Moneyball, Bad Times at the El Royale, Noah, The Great Escape, Uncut Gems, Live by Night, Lord of War, 42, Whiplash, No Country for Old Men, Victor Frankenstein, Green Book, Just Mercy, Silver Linings Playbook, Dragged Across Concrete, Parasite, and The Monuments Men. And then shoved in the middle here is the live-action remake of Cinderella, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Super long title. Christopher Robin, Hocus Pocus. Here's my DC animated stuff. Injustice, Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons, Superman Red Sun, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, Reign of the Supermen, The Death of Superman, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, Flashpoint Paradox, Throne of Atlantis, Crisis on Two Earths, Gods and Monsters, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Killing Joke, The Dark Knight Returns, Gotham by Gaslight, Under the Red Hood, Year One, Hush, Batman vs. Two-Face, and The Return of the Caped Crusaders. And then Teen Titans Go to the movies. I think I found that at a Goodwill, and Hope likes Teen Titans Go for some reason. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Days of Thunder, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And because everybody loves to see them, I'm going to show you guys my Deadpool photobomb slipcovers. We've got Castaway, Predator, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Assassin's Creed, 127 Hours, Revenge of the Nerds, City Slickers, Office Space, The Day After Tomorrow, Edward Scissorhands, and The Devil Wears Prada. And I can finally say I've seen all the movies that I have with these Deadpool slipcovers, because I finally saw The Devil Wears Prada, I think, a year or so ago. It's really good. And then for consistency's sake, I know it's not Deadpool related, but I feel weird if I don't show the cover of this, The Social Network. Kind of a really bland Blu-ray cover there. But Social Network. And now for the final 3 drawers. Okay, we're going to start with the big one first. I really don't have a theme for this drawer. It's just other movies that I owned. I think we threw the theme thing out the window a long time ago. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, Dog Days, Zero Dark 30, Bridge of Spies, Valkyrie, The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then Bigfoot, Terminal, How to Marry a Millionaire, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Stolen, Passion of the Christ, Miss Congeniality 1 and 2, Pompeii, We Were Soldiers, Selma, The Usual Suspects, Troy, The Mask of Zorro, and The Legend of Zorro. 4 film favorites action collection. This includes Ninja Assassin, Blood, Diamond, Domino, and Executive Decision. Greenland, Scarface, Real Steel, Hell or High Water, Schindler's List, Blade Runner 1 and 2, The Protege, The Green Knight, Free Guy, The Foreigner, Edge of Darkness, The Karate Kid, Oz the Great and Powerful, The Art of Racing in the Rain, The Greatest Showman, Journey to the Center of the Earth, Keepers of the Magic. That's a documentary about, like, filmmaking or whatever. Well, I feel bad not telling you what it's about. Behind the scenes look at films such as The Godfather, The English Patient, Fury Road, and many more through the eyes of their legendary cinematographers. I haven't seen it, but it sounds good. I own it. You've got the Hobbit trilogy, 2 of them on Blu-ray 3D, and then Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray. 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Edge of 17, First Man, Murder on the Orient Express, Australia and Walk the Line, Knives Out, Birdman, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Exodus Gods and Kings, Cowboys and Aliens, Logan Lucky, Need for Speed, Prince of Persia, Detective Pikachu, Rampage, Tomb Raider, Apollo 13, Ad Astra, True Grit, The Accountant, Escape Plan, Fight Club, Transporter 1 and 2, Face Off, Unhinged, Bad Boys for Life, Drive, The King's Speech, Ford v Ferrari, and then all the Mad Max movies minus Furiosa. These last 2 drawers kind of have a theme to them. We've got extra stuff and then overflow and then Christmas and some other stuff that just got mixed in there. We'll start with this one here. Super Mario Brothers movie, Dying of the Light, Killing Jesus, The Disaster Artist, I Wish This Would Focus, The Sandlot, The Great Wall, that's better, The Great Wall, Secretariat, The Grey, Assault on Precinct 13, HD Moods Trains, The Goonies, The Princess Bride, Smokey and the Bandit, 7, The Monsterverse minus Godzilla x Kong, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Where the Crawdads Sing, all of the Muppet movies in this little box set from the UK. This includes all of those. And then I think in this row the other Muppet movies are the ones that weren't released by Disney that have only been released by Sony. Oh, there's Madagascar, The Parent Trap, The Muppets Take Manhattan, and Muppets from Space. Yep, those are the other 2. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Now we get to Christmas stuff. Mickey's Christmas Carol, Christmas Vacation, 4K release, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, Jingle All the Way, It's a Wonderful Life, A Very Merry Pooh Year, all 3 of the Santa Claus movies, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Home Alone 1 and 2, The Polar Express, and the Peanuts Holiday Collection. And then over here, like I said, just some extra stuff and some overflow. We've got some Target exclusive stuff in here, The Lion King, Aladdin, Thor, Ragnarok, Maleficent, and then Avengers Endgame. The only one in here that's a Blu-ray is Thor Ragnarok. Michael Clayton, all the Pirates movies. This is the Lord of the Rings on 4K. When I bought this on eBay, the seller shipped it to me without cover art. But I can assure you those are Lord of the Rings. As a matter of fact, I'll prove it to you. Just because I don't want to be accused of being a liar. There's Lord of the Rings. Yippee. Theatrical and extended cuts. All on 4K. And then here are the extra Blu-rays of some of my favorite movies. We've got the Disney Movie Club exclusive version of Cars, Expendables 2, 3 copies of Avengers, Blu-ray 3D, standard Blu-ray, and then the Target Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray of Logan, standard Blu-ray of Iron Man, and then standard Blu-ray of Avengers Age of Ultron. And then the final release that I own in my Blu-ray collection, I have to keep over here because it's so big, on a shelf with a bunch of Star Wars on DVD. We have Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3. You guys didn't think I got rid of this, did you? Yep, still got it. It's just, it's so big, I have to keep it in here by itself, all by its lonesome. I do like it, I just kind of wish it was in a standard Blu-ray case so I could store it with the other movie. Toy Story 4 is all by itself. But that's it, guys. That's every piece of 4K and Blu-ray physical media goodness that is in this house right now. If I showed you everything that Hope owned that I gave her, we'd be here another like 45 minutes. So we're just going to stick to mine this year. Maybe next year we'll show hers as well. But that's everything. Every year I'm astounded. I got rid of some stuff at the beginning of last year and a couple Blu-rays this year as well, and I'm like, what the hell? Why do I still have so many? But that is the official start to collection month. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. I will catch you all in the next installment. Good night, everybody.